All right. So this morning, I had a hard time getting up from bed. I had made the mistake of opening up my phone and I just forget like what provoked it. I woke up, I looked at Instagram, and I spent like 45 minutes scrolling through Reels. It was fun, but also it left me feeling very empty by the end of it. It got me thinking about this idea of a mental diet, especially since, you know, we are currently living in a period where we can definitely consume a lot of media that isn't very helpful to our creative growth. So anyway, let's talk about that today. What is up, guys? Andrew here, and welcome to Comicbooker. All things comics from a creator. So the idea of the mental diet, it's just a metaphor for your intake, your mental intake. In the same way that what we eat, you can break it down into macros of carbs and protein and fiber and fat, all of which have, if you break it down, have individual functions in the development of your body. If you want to build your muscles, you want to eat more protein, and so on and so forth. This really struck me because I think about writers that I truly love, like when I read Grant Morrison stuff or when I read Alan Moore's stuff, and you know, I read interviews with them and they talk about all these books and interesting things that they've read which feed into their works. Morrison's weird ideas, he owes a debt to William Burroughs, Jorge Luis Borges, am I saying that right? Terence McKenna, and all these other interesting thinkers, fictionists and scientists and philosophers and like crazy thinkers. And all of that turns into this like really interesting stew in his head, which he puts into these adventure stories that really capture my imagination and make me very excited. So I think about that, and I think about, you know, what I need to consume as an artist in order to create things which are of real interest, things which educate people and excite them, things which inspire them. I don't know if it's gonna be like, you know, sexy dancing reels on Instagram. So yeah, this is just like, I don't want to prescribe anything. I'm trying not to be like a prescriptive type of person, but more of like sharing some of the thoughts I've been having. You know, if you're on those platforms, it's always eager to give you more and more content to eat. And it usually tries to follow down anything that you have a stray interest in. And sometimes a stray interest, like a single click, can balloon into more and more of that same type of content, which leads to more and more extreme consumption of that type of thing. I've found that if you utilize the platforms properly, it means you're actually really talking to the algorithm. And you're talking to the machine, and you're using your functions like likes and all that stuff to tell it that you want more of this type of thing. And you're also using things like when you click on a piece of content and say not interested, you're telling it you don't want to eat that thing. You don't want that thing in your brain. So yeah, I think this is a really subjective thing. Honestly, what you think is interesting and nutritious to watch, like anything can inspire cool art from you. You know, people have made wonderful things out of trash. And I don't want to dictate. I think this is something that every person has to decide for themselves. But for me, I want to start thinking this year about being more intentional about what I consume, what I put into my brain. There's this interesting part in Grant Morrison's Multiversity. It's in the Ultra Comics issue, which is this super cool meta issue, which talks about like the first superhero of Earth 33, which is our Earth. And his enemy is this creature which owes an allegiance to something called the Oblivion Machine. And the Oblivion Machine has become this metaphor for entertainment as a whole. It feeds on your life, and it feeds on your hours. It feeds on the time that you give to it. In return, it gives you picture shows and entertainment and helps you sort of forget. And I'm thinking about that when I think about the mental diet, you know. I don't want to just be throwing things emptily into the void, like my attention, right? That's all you have. It's precious, you know? That's basically like your consciousness. That's what your life is actually made of. So yeah, with that thought, I just want to like encourage you guys, and I'm kind of talking to myself too here, like to be more mindful about what we consume, what we put into our brains. Choose wisely. Choose who you listen to. Choose what you read. Don't let the algorithms just choose for you, but decide for yourself. And that way, when you make your art, when you talk to people, when you share your ideas with people, it's full of the nutrition that you have decided upon. It's full of stuff that matters to you. Anyway, that's it. This is kind of like a messy, off-the-cuff video, but I'm trying to do more videos on this channel. So let me know if you like this. Let me know if you hated it. I hope you're having a great day, and I hope you're feeling inspired. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.